host, the Soul Rat Senpai. Yeah, my throat. Anyway, my co-host with the most dad jokes, Waluigi.
Good morning, everybody. Long time no chat. Well, it's technically been a week.
Yeah.
We needed that break. Yeah, our last episode, I'm still laughing how we had both S15 and Media Nut with us in the same room.
Yeah.
Taking them back was fun. I felt like a soccer dad.
And our guest, Rix.
Hello, guys.
Morning.
Happy to be here.
Happy to
First
be here.
podcast ever, so bear with me.
Don't you worry.
Don't worry. After today, you'll get used to it because usually when we bring people back, then they're like, okay, now I know what these guys are all about. Yeah. You'll lose that nervousness when we go throughout the episode.
Cool.
All right, so this episode of the podcast is available for audio-only listeners on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can also rewatch the video playback of the podcast available on YouTube and Facebook once the stream is over. And recapping off of last week's, Waluigi already started off a little bit. And yeah, it was pretty interesting.
That's how you know it was an interesting podcast.
Yeah, it was a very.
If I had to say something about it.
Yeah, to have S15 costuming and the Media Nut, both of them, both interesting people at the same time on the same podcast. It's not the first time, but it's great to have them back, and yeah, good times.
Definitely. Going to Miami and back was even more of an adventure. We should have done a vlog.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
You heard this, you too.
Alrighty, so with our guest today, we have Riggs, and our tradition that we do here on the podcast is that we like to know about your gaming origins. What got you into gaming? From the time where you're little, we want to know your gaming story, like that. Your whole gaming backstory from when you started to up until now. So,
Sure.
floor is yours.
So, there's a few things that contributed to it. I think all of us eventually, I don't want to say all of us, but a lot of people from my generation started either with the Super Nintendo,
Nice.
or their mom and dad just brought home a Nintendo 64 just because.
Yeah.
Well, I did have that start, and I liked, Super Mario and that stuff. It was just kind of a time waster.
Right.
What got me into gaming was a step cousin of mine. I'll never forget his name because this was started. His name was Walter. Walter was a casual player, and at that time, he was teaching me how to play Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. The 3D one.
Ooh.
And I was like 6 years old. Had no business playing that game, but he taught me the ropes. Said the broadcast has ended.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like
That's fine.
it's always happened, but I'm recording it,
Yeah.
so.
He was teaching me, combos, fatalities, up to the point where I could pose somewhat of a challenge to him.
Nice.
He was a teenager, so he was surprised. Like, well, you're doing pretty good. I'll never forget it. I was 6 years old. It was Halloween. We're in Miami, around Bird Road, and he takes me to his friend's house. My mom approves of me staying over these strangers' house on Halloween, 6 years old.
Sounds like a Latino thing.
Yes.
That's legit. I can understand this.
Brother, I go to this house, and there's two of them. There's two brothers. When I get there, one of them is playing Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox, and the other one is on World of Warcraft on a PC.
So you had to pick your poison.
I went from offline PS2 games, right, to what? Mm-hmm. And if I thought my cousin was good, when I played against them, thinking I was, no. Their friends taught him how to play Mortal Kombat, and I quickly got my butt handed to me.
Sheesh.
But
Oh, wow.
the important thing of that night was Halo.
Right.
They were playing, 4 split screen.
Oh.
And because there's 4 of us.
Hey.
And it was such
that's a classic.
It was such a crazy experience because it was Halloween. I'm surrounded by these big kids that I'm like, oh, this.
And you're just like,
I'm just
curled up.
little shit.
Yeah.
we start playing through the campaign, and they get up to the point where you run into the flood, and I'm terrified. I'm 6 years old playing this game. There's like these zombie things. That's when I didn't want to play no more. Some stuff happened in life where I wasn't seeing that cousin as often, but I still retained almost everything that he had instilled in me without him doing it on purpose. So I found out that Halo Combat Evolved had a PC port. So I was that kid at school installing Halo Combat Evolved demo on all the computer classes. Oh, and we would have little LANs at my high school computer.
Best.
Yeah. I want to say that's what got me started, and as you can see, you know, those are the two main focuses of my gaming career, which was Mortal Kombat and Halo, and that's where it all stemmed from, pretty much.
Okay. So what about I mean, definitely you end up getting an Xbox 360 at some point of time in life.
Nice.
So what was your experience going in that direction?
You don't know you're in the good times until they're over, right?
Yeah,
you don't know you're
Yeah.
in the golden times, like,
Yeah.
you know. At that age, I was getting a weekly allowance of like $10, $20, whatever my dad could afford.
Yeah.
I was starving. I put it in a piggy bank so I could afford to buy my own Xbox 360 that had the red ring within like 2 months.
Oh my God.
When
was there.
I bought the 360, Halo 3 hadn't come out yet, but I bought it because we all knew it was coming. So I bought it, and I still managed to experience the Halo 2 Xbox Live
Multiplayer experience.
Yeah. It wasn't as vivid, but it was because there was no other Halo.
Yeah.
So all the players were in Halo 2.
Yeah.
You know, this is when the MOG days, the final boss, you know, it was like
yes.
the whole bro MOG, BXR, you know, double shot. Around that time, I saved up, I got the Xbox, Halo 2, and then Halo 3 comes out 2007. Not only did I save up for my own Xbox, because at this age, this 2007, I must have been like 13, 14 years old. I saved up for the Halo 3 Legendary Edition.
Oh, my Lord.
And my dad, bless his heart, I asked him, I was like, hey, Dad, can we please go to a midnight release? He doesn't understand what video games are, why people like them.
Right.
He said, sure, fuck it. And what is it, 12 a.m.? Yeah, we'll go. We get there, and he's like shocked at the amount of adults there. Like men, you know, he's like, there's some guys my age here. Like, what is this? What the fuck? Bro,
Parent goals.
It was such a special time because not only did I go get the Legendary Edition for Halo 3, I had my Halo 2 Silver Collector's Edition. My dad says, hey, why don't you get the game guide, and why don't you get this the controller, the one with the Master Chief on it, and the other side multiplayer.
That's awesome.
Right, awesome experience. Like
Yeah.
I had the saving up, the midnight release, the edition, everything was perfect. What I didn't know was coming up ahead was what such a even more special experience Halo 3 was gonna be in general for everybody.
Right.
Because you go into multiplayer that first day, people are like, yeah, bro, this is so exciting. Oh, it's almost like Halo Infinite now. Like, you go into Halo
Yeah, the
Infinite,
hype is
people are
insane.
speaking in game chat. People are getting at a party. If you have a mic, they're like, yeah, bro, this is so cool. You know, like, finally Halo's back. Halo 3 lasted a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it did.
Yeah.
when Halo came out, I was a freshman in high school. I want to say after a year, I started to get good. I hadn't gotten my 50 in any playlist yet, but I was good enough that, you know, among my friends I was the best. And then what do friends do? Hey, you gotta play my buddy Rick, because, you know, he's gonna fuck you up in Halo.
Oh yeah.
But they always say that to people who are better than you.
Yeah.
So back then, Halo 3 was a big thing. Even at school, it was more like a jock thing. Like, if you're good at the game, you know, like, people knew who you were. Even though we're all nerds.
Yeah.
That got me into my first team.
Aw, that's
So-
actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So those guys that were like, "Oh, you gotta go play my buddy Rick," they ended up being my first team. They were called Shy Guys, and we didn't get very far because it was hard. Like if you think going pro in any game is hard now, it was impossible before. Unless you had some type of financial backing from adults,
Yeah.
you were not getting anywhere. That kind of fell apart, but by the time that fell apart, I had gotten really good at Halo. At the end of Halo's lifetime, I had gotten a 50 on every playlist.
What?
Wolves, SWAT, snipers, MLG. I would open a new account and try to see how fast I could get a 50.
Sheesh.
At the end of Halo's lifespan, when Halo Reach came out, people were not playing Halo Reach because the ranking system sucked.
Yeah.
People,
I remember that.
People would go to Halo 3, get their 50s, and then gatekeep. Boy, if you had a level 49 and we all had 50s, like you better believe we tried our heart out just so you won't get that 50.
Oh,
It was
my
super
gosh.
gatekeeping, yeah. That's kind of like a small summary. I did delve into the MLG stuff a bit. I tried the teams. It was too hard to get 4 people to agree.
Yeah.
4 people with chemistry. You know, plus you had school. You know, obligations. Like, hey, your parents saying, "Hey, buddy, it's been 8 hours. Like, you wanna get off?"
Yeah.
So, I would skip school
Same.
to go home and play Halo 3.
Same.
My parents were too Spanish.
In my senior year, I made up my sophomore classes and my junior classes, and I took my senior class.
Well, I was the opposite because I skipped a hell of a lot in my senior year because I graduated in 2007. So this was when Halo 3 came out. And I remember mentioning this on one of the episodes where...
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about Halo.
Yeah, like you had to be there because I remember so vividly well when that game came out, half of my school was not there because they were at home playing Halo 3. I remember it so vividly well. I'm just like, what?
You know what else? Because the thing is, Call of Duty 4 didn't hit like Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
So the competition didn't really start until Modern Warfare 2 came out. So even before that, it was just like everybody played Halo.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, the ranking system was so addictive.
Yeah.
Because you see it on the profile, like you know, you don't have to say nothing. Like people see it.
It's just
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, like, hey.
I don't get why that's been a hard thing for 343 to learn.
Yeah.
In the Master Chief Collection, they have a ranking from 1 to 50. But Halo 4, 5, they come up with these seasonal ranks.
Yeah.
Like
it's just
I guess League of Legends type
I haven't
ranks.
even
Yeah.
touched Halo 5 yet. I don't know if I should.
I bought Halo 5 for the story and lore. I must have gone into 5 matches of Lone Wolves because even
Oh, God.
though I was in teams, I got noticed and I got my start competitively in free for alls because I would get in these free for alls and it was just like
Oh, my God.
I knew how to just fuck it up, take opportunities, to steal kills, and I didn't do well. And I was like, everyone's jetpacking and floating around and
Oh,
dashing around. I'm like, this isn't Halo. This is Call of Duty Advanced.
warfare. Yeah, because it's just like you're doing all this jumping around. Like that's why, like when Halo Reach came out, and then you had like specialist abilities. It turned people off a little, quite a bit.
A lot.
Until as time grew on, then people started to slowly accept Halo Reach for what it is. And then of course, then you had Halo 4 coming out, which I spent a lot of hours in, and it was better than Reach. I mean, there were some things that they did right with Halo 4 than Reach didn't do, but it was
I can agree with that.
it did not have that addictiveness that Halo 3 had. It did not have
Yeah.
the addictiveness.
It's
I can
the
agree with
ranking
that.
system.
Yeah.
Because like you hit level 152, what do you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
You can't even gatekeep because
Yeah.
like you get experience points whether you win or lose. And on top of that, the bullet magnetism was off the charts. All the guns were easy to use. The sniping no scope was like so forgiving in that game. So that's part of the reason too, because like if you're the good, you're melting everybody, and it doesn't feel satisfying. Like
Right.
you're good and you're winning the games, and you're like, this doesn't feel like I'm doing good. This feels like the game is just easy.
What's your favorite guns to use with Halo? Like, if you had a specific weapon, your go-to.
Well, the thing is that the MOG standard would always BR starts.
I know. I meant in general.
Yeah. Favorite gun.
Because we can all say the Spartan Laser is like one of the most badass weapons.
I'm a cheese player, so give me the gravity hammer. So I can just smack bitches.
Actually, it doesn't surprise me.
It depends. On
I would do the same.
It depends on the game. So, for example, Halo 2, the
Halo Reach.
the sword. Halo Reach, armor lock.
Armor lock was so annoying.
It was.
Until
Boy.
you started using it and you started cheesing people.
Boy, before that update came, that update took forever to come, and I made everybody suffer. Everybody. Because the thing is, I run up to you, I melee you, armor lock, and then
Jeez.
like you don't know if I'm gonna come up fast or take long. Like you don't know if to sit there. Chances, and it's that was the problem with Halo Reach. So it was fun, but it messed with the flow of the game. Halo, people talk about a sandbox, which is like the flow of the game. There's certain things that can speed things up, like jetpacks.
Yeah.
Advanced movement, and there's things that can slow things down, like armor lock. Reach slowed everything down.
Yeah.
So that's why Halo Infinite is doing well, because none of the equipment slows down the game. So everything is just pacing at a good speed.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
my. I need to play more Halo. It's been a hot minute. The last one I played is 4.
I played a lot of 4, but just like you, I took a break during 5. Thank God, Mortal Kombat X was a fun game.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 11. During Halo 5, that's what I was playing, a lot of Mortal Kombat X. I didn't do a lot with that because there's no Cabal.
MKX didn't have Cabal, yeah. MK11 they did, and I don't know. Well,
MK9.
And of course MK9. Like MK9, he was just stupidly annoying.
Yeah.
My favorite
Stupidly
I
annoying
can
to
actually
fight
agree with
against
this.
online.
my favorite player to watch was MK Rio. I learned everything. I would stay up, and I'd stay in that training room mastering those dash cancels, and it was unforgiving online. It was so annoying.
That's why I hated fighting against Cabal players online.
Cabal
because-
got worse after the game died because there's people who kept playing and they kept finding more exploits, like more things that were safe to do, that were reckless, and yeah.
And usually, in order for me to beat a Cabal player, that's just doing all the dash cancels and cheesing and projectiles, because he would do the gas blast up in the air.
Yes.
Yeah, the low.
Bro.
That was a 1 frame low. You know that?
Wait, what?
Like from the moment he
actually
puts his
1
input
frame?
to the moment you get hit, it's like 1 or 2 frames.
Bullshit. I did not know this.
Well, Mortal Kombat 9 had like variable frames, like
I never really paid attention to
like
that.
the
in
frames
game.
changed a lot, depending character too.
So yeah, anytime I was like in a projectile battle, it got annoying. But my main character at the time was Ermac, so I would just always teleport.
So
that way,
fun.
So that way I would just catch them off guard or just bait them, because that's how I would beat them. Because you use someone else that doesn't teleport against a Cabal player, like you're getting your ass cheesed.
I mean, it was
badly.
better when like Jackie Briggs was a whole problem. You remember the full auto mode?
In MKX, yeah.
In MKX.
You know what the thing about MKX was that I didn't stay long enough for that. So MKX was a great game.
Agreed.
What happened was that look, this game is designed for Russians.
Yeah.
So the game gives you the answer. What is the answer? Armored launchers. After the Evo where Sonic Fox beat, I forget this guy's name. He beat him with Alien, and Alien has armored launchers and armored lows.
Yeah.
So they decided to nerf armored launchers, and that like neutered the game. So
Did it? I
so
never
if
knew
you
that.
had a character that can mix you high and low like Jackie, you had to just guess.
Yeah.
You had to just take it. So after that, I wasn't playing anymore. Like, I'd play casually. But that was it.
Yeah, like I was playing it very, very actively, especially against with my friends offline, and they would just beat my ass. And some days I would beat them, but online it was a fun time, good time. A lot of trash talking. I made a lot of people rage quit with my Ermac. Another annoying.
Is that Ermac
I was
was
Devora.
so like. I wouldn't call him top tier, but he was definitely frustrating to fight against. If you have a character who could put up with his stuff, like, for example, the character I used a lot, because, so, MK Rio was good buddies with Tom Brady, the MK player. He played Sub-Zero, and he had some interesting tech with the shadow, with the ice clone, yeah. And I was like, oh, this is gimmicky. I like this. So I stuck to only that variation of that character throughout the whole lifespan. Try fighting Sub-Zero against Ermac. Like, I couldn't do nothing.
Oh,
I had to
God.
just, like, run block. But he could do the jump low, the jump teleport, jump cancel, and then lift.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I felt the pain. That is pain.
Oh,
So, what are your favorite genres in gaming? Like, of course, shooters, fighters. Is there any other genre that you have interest in that we may not know, or would you like to tell?
for the majority of my lifetime, I stuck to shooters, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just fun. Halo, and fighting games. I say fighting games, but really I've only played Mortal Kombat. I tried giving other games a try, like Skullgirls. Skullgirls was pretty fun. Besides that, what I can think of is during the 360 days, I played a lot of arcade games. So, for example, I still don't stem away from the stuff I like, but for example, back in the 360 days, they had Ultimate MK3.
Yes, I had that.
Cabal,
I had it down. I think I still have it downloaded in my old like 500 gig
And
drive.
then later on, they came up with the package that brought Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
I think that's what I got.
Yeah, I got that as well.
Man, I miss the Xbox store. How simple it was.
I played a lot of Shadowrun.
Shadowrun. I'm trying to remember
But-
that game.
I can't think of. I would just say shooters. Yeah. Because I can't say fighters because I have Street Fighter 5, the newest Tekken. I have all these games, but
You just don't put in time into them, or they just don't grasp you.
yeah, like, that's the way I would put it. Like, not even to play casually. It's just like,
Yeah, alright, but
Yeah, I could say the same.
they're not bad games. It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're,
You remember when Xbox had a Gotham City Imposters?
you see,
yes, I remember that.
what is that?
That is a game that was like it's a style of Team Fortress 2, or it's a shooter with many abilities. It was just such a poorly ran down game. I just remember this from the Xbox days.
It was the one where you had Batman and you had the Team Batman, Team Joker,
They're
but
like-
it was a shooter.
Gangs, basically.
Yeah.
It was just chaotic. I remember this from my Xbox days. I looked at some achievements I still have from the game, actually.
Yeah.
Weird little.
It's crazy to think, like, what haven't I played that isn't Halo or Mortal Kombat? Because I remember those Halo 3 days, I'd cancel out Halo, find something like Mortal Kombat. And then I'd go back to Halo, then Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a guy just don't worry about it.
Lord of
I'll tell you
Man.
what I don't play ever, almost like these adventure campaign games, like
Skyrim.
Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, anything that takes too long.
Ooh, my
I just-
heartstrings just felt it.
I just
Yeah, I gotcha.
I can't tell you how many times I've downloaded Skyrim on my Game Pass. Yeah,
Gotta
I'll
hide.
give it a try.
Gotta hide the tap
Never
this
happens.
podcast.
Nah. So RPGs, JRPGs, action adventure games are
It's all games that I would love to have time for,
gotcha.
but like
That's a good response. I like that.
I feel like because I don't have the time to dedicate these games to, I feel like it's a waste. I'm not gonna enjoy it the way you're supposed to enjoy them.
Yeah. No, that's very reasonable.
Yeah, that's really understandable. Time is important. That's one of most things that we spend on.
Oh yeah. So our next topic, which I'll be asking you, is what does gaming mean to you?
Well, to me,
Yes.
it's always been a good way to show my dedication. That's what I want to say. So, I'll give an example. Here at Flynn's, I wouldn't go as far to say as I started anything because the owners already had in mind to start tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of harassed them a lot on the Instagram to start MK tournaments.
You were one of those guys.
Yeah, oof. They were still painting stuff, and I was hitting them up, like, "Hey, so more Combat 11's coming out. Huh? What do you?"
That's funny.
They're not even done painting, and I'm already there, like,
Just standing there.
here at Flynn's. There's a quite a couple more Kombat tournaments that were run. I've never gotten lower than second place. So I either won those tournaments or I lost at grand finals.
Oh, so you met Butter Punch and everybody?
Yeah.
Nice.
I only lost 2 of the tournaments I attended here. I won all the other ones.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. When I started coming to Flynn's for their Mortal Kombat tournaments and whatnot, like, he was always like in number 1.
Wow.
Like MK Holy, number 1. I was like,
I've only gotten second place as my lowest.
yeah.
Well, I might need you to coach me for CEO, honestly, because I am at a state of ass right now.
But during that time, when I was being a mega tryhard with MK11, I had a full-time job. I want to say I had 2 jobs because I Ubered in the time that I wasn't working
Right.
as a second source of income. I would buy and sell car parts. I would sell catalytic converters. I now
Okay.
got into the stock game and crypto
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Nice hat.
Yes, thank you. I actually made it. I
Nice.
had it made. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. During the crypto stuff,
Oh yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh yeah, make it. We'll buy it." No one bought.
Damn.
I made one.
Okay, I was about to say, how
And
many you got?
said,
I'll buy one right now.
"Hey guys, who wants one?"
Wait, I gotta do what I did last week.
What?
Just go. I want one.
Take my money. So yeah,
I'll explain a story
you know,
later.
multiple jobs. My daughter was just born, so I'm learning to be a
congrats.
dad. I got all these hurdles, and I'm if you know anything about pregnant women, there's a process after birth because they go through a lot of stuff emotionally. So I'm taking care of her. I'm stretching myself all the way.
Yeah.
But I won all those tournaments.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm going up against people that have way more time than me, probably more resources,
Yeah.
but I'm winning. So for video games, that was my way of showing people there's no excuses.
Yeah.
You know, you have more advantages than me, and I'm winning.
Yeah.
And during Halo 3, for me, that was just like, how much time can I spend this game? And I would spend, I'd say a whole day, 12 hours. MOG, Halo 3, just
my.
running scrims. So for me, video games have always been like, let me show you what I can do. You know?
Yeah.
Like, for me, having fun was winning at games that I like to play. That's what I would say.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to teach your kid at a young age how to play Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Of course, when they are of legal age, of course. Because just like him, I started in Mortal Kombat when I was 6 years old,
Bro.
too. And that was the very first one on a arcade cabinet at a
Like I
laundry-
said.
at a laundry
And the
mat.
thing is, when you saw the blood, like, but even back then, like, you don't know that you're looking at nothing,
But
you
it
know?
looks so
Yeah.
real.
But at that time, you're like, oh, that's blood.
I got-
Those
Yeah.
are guts. Like, that's
Yeah.
I got nightmares from watching Scorpion's fatality from Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
Deadly Alliance, the crypt.
And now I fucking
would-
hate the man.
I couldn't go in the crypt like after hours
Oh
because
my-
the noises that the game makes.
Wait, you remember more MK9 with the jump scare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, whoop-dee! Yeah, that made me and my cousin almost piss ourselves in the middle of the night. Justin, if you see this, I love you. I'm gonna clip that.
Yeah, like 6 years old, I was like, oh, what game is this? And I was like, oh, this looks interesting and whatnot. And then that's how I just got hooked.
And we all turned out normal.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah. Well, games like Mortal Kombat is violent. It's gruesome. I remember the articles and the media.
Well, the MSRB got started because of Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
Yeah, and I was just like, I turned out okay. Like I've been playing Mortal Kombat since the very first one, and I've played every single Mortal Kombat ever since. Even the bad ones like Armageddon and MK versus DC
Oh, yeah, those are-
Universe. and-
Why would you say that?
in
We
Mortal
promised
Kombat-
not to say this.
In Mortal Kombat vs. DC, Superman had a move that could kill you in the next round. So the special would
I never knew
start
that.
at the end of the first round, right? He'd do the special and it kills you, but the animation lasts so long that by the time the second round starts, you're dead. Superman had an infinite with the ground pound. If he got you once,
Oh, it's like Doomsday with Injustice.
correct. Except this one is worse.
I forgot most of MK versus DC Universe. I just know that I was just like, what is this?
MK versus DC was when I first started to think, how do I get good at this game? Let me go on YouTube, look up tournaments. And that's how I got started with that. But MK versus DC was a terrible game.
Yeah.
Broken.
Yeah. I was so happy and so excited when MK9 was announced. They showed what it really looked like the gameplay. And I was just like, day one off rip, I'm buying this game, going to midnight release, buying it, and I am playing it straight through. And
Bro, the midnight release at my GameStop did like a quick little tournament. And no one had, there was no beta for that game.
yeah.
No.
But Cabal's specials were the same in Ultimate MK3 than they were there. So I was just spamming the gas blast and the low. I was just spamming that to people who like just picked up the game.
Jesus.
And I beat everybody at that game. They're like, "Oh, you played this before?" I'm like, "No, the specials are just the same as Ultimate MK3."
Yeah.
Oh, I found the insta-kill glitch you were talking about. Let me see if I can put it back up because I was just looked at this real quick. Basically, we were just slam somebody down to the ground. Bullshit. I did not know that would exist. This is something cursed. Yep.
Look at that.
So he just does a ground pound, and then it just goes, finish him.
Bro.
That is great.
I got hit with that so many times online.
I'm like, that has to be illegal somewhere.
It was never patched. You can go online right now on a 360 and do that.
It's 11. How old is this game? 11 years old?
Oof.
More than that.
Judas Priest. I would not even. I had to wash my hands after playing a game.
But yeah, I would compare Mortal Kombat 9
You see,
to,
don't
to
mention
Halo
that
3
name, we don't talk
for
about
that
it.
series.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had all the characters.
Yep.
It innovated in so many ways. Everybody was playing it.
Yeah.
The tournament scene was crazy for
Yo, yeah. It was so much fun watching people just playing it, especially at tournaments and whatnot. And you just get hyped because you just want to know who's good with who. And
Yeah.
Cyrax was annoying. I'm going to just say that.
Yeah.
That was my second. If I couldn't beat you with Cabal, which is like, for real, bro? You can't with Cabal? It was so fun because the amount of ways that I could get you into the unblockable bomb, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I knew all the setups.
Jeez. And I can barely make a string. I don't know how I managed to get either 1 or 2 wins in Lynn's MK tournaments. I don't even know anymore.
Hey, man.
I'm legit freaking out half the time as I'm playing. I'm over dramatic.
Well, I will say that in December we will have another Mortal Kombat tournament, but it's going to be the final one.
Oof.
Yeah. The final one since, hey, they're no longer going to be, continuing the game, supporting it. And I think COVID had something to do with it because...
They said they were going to support it for longer.
Did they really?
Yeah,
they?
they said it was going to be like more than 3 years. And we're at 2 years, and they said, nope, no more. I think Warner Brothers said, come on, guys.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's time for them to move on to another game. Who knows, maybe another Injustice game.
They've been saying
Could
this for
be.
years.
Okay.
Just at least show that we're gonna at least have a third Injustice.
I think the best thing you could do for that series is make one game that has the MK9 all the way to MK11.
That sounds like another Mortal Kombat.
Because you can't play MK9 right now. If you have this,
You can't.
You can't play it.
You cannot.
You need to go get a PS3.
Yeah.
You know, make sure you have it, because if you look in the store, it doesn't exist anymore. Something happened with the Freddy Krueger license that the NetherRealm doesn't have them anymore. So no, like, it's not on the marketplace of any game. It's not on Steam.
I still have my game actually.
If you have it, don't ever delete it, because you know.
No, like I have it on disc still.
It's jumping.
Even what if you get the Mortal Kombat 9 Ultimate collection, where you have like all the DLC characters on the disc?
You'll have it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But if you have like the regular one, you can't download it. You can't download
Yeah, I still have the DLC. I have it on my old Xbox 360. I hope I still have it.
it. Gets corrupted.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be mad.
Oh man. All right, so our next topic, the Halo Infinite beta. I don't have an Xbox.
You know, I haven't touched it yet.
Did you get in?
I didn't get in.
You might have gotten in.
I don't even know if I got in.
Did you apply for the insider for console or PC?
Console.
You might have gotten in. There's a bunch of people who, so
I think I'm too late.
no. Xbox has a thing called Xbox Insider where they post all the betas that Xbox does. So, for example, Xbox has a beta for their updates that are coming up. Mm-hmm. You can try them now.
Yeah.
In case there's any bugs.
Why do I now learn of this? Jesus Christ.
The Halo Infinite beta, well, technical preview is in there. So if you go and try to download it, you might have been registered and never got an email or notification.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people
who
managed to get in but never got notifications that they were even accepted.
Wow. So how was your experience on the Halo Infinite beta? Because I know earlier you were like kind of talking about it, and I was like, I want to save it to the podcast or whatnot, because I want to really dig in deep into it or whatnot. Like, what is your thoughts playing it? Because I know a couple of people that I follow and they follow me. They've gotten a chance to play. I know S15 Constantine, who we had last week, he got into the beta. So of course we have him last week. So I wish I could have him this week, but we can't. But what is your experience in the game?
My experience in the technical preview, was great. You'll see some people on the YouTubes saying, "Oh, the game feels clunky. Some of the weapons feel slow." They don't quite understand like recovery frames, and I'm thinking of it like a fighting game.
Right.
Because when you do a move, the move takes some time to recover before you can enter another action. So if you switch from the battle rifle to your sidearm, it's like instant shoot. But if you're fighting with the sidearm and you switch to the battle rifle, there's a pause.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, this is clunky." No, this is recovery frames. This is like, you do it in Call of Duty. If you switch from your sidearm to a rifle, it's not as fast.
Yeah.
All the weapons feel like they have their own learning curve. Sniping is really hard. The sniper feels heavy. The first zoom is really zoomed in. And I think that's not by mistake. I think that's to encourage you to use a sniper as a sniper, not as a quick scope.
That makes sense.
You get me? And if you get that quick scope, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah.
360 no scope.
I feel like I'm getting off topic, but my experience with the technical preview has been great. It feels a little bit like Halo 5, but in a good way. It feels like Halo 5 without all the movement.
Right.
Someone posted a video of the sprint. The sprint is not that much faster than walking speed. Some people were pissed about that, but the truth is that was the only way to make both people happy, because you could go through the whole game not sprinting.
That's true.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if you want to sprint, hey, you have it. The equipment was really good. It plays almost like Halo 3, because now it's like you start the game, I need to go get the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone starts with ARs for now. You got to go and get the things, and that, we're playing against bots, so they can't exactly counter you. But if a bot sees a weapon and you see it, like you have someone fighting fighting you for a thing. Whereas in Halo 5, everyone starts out with battle rifles and this crazy movement. So there's no need for map control or gun control. Because like, you have rockets, yeah, but I can fucking run away. I can dash away and you miss your rocket. So it feels like Halo 5 plays a little bit like Halo 3, like Halo Reach.
Okay.
I say it plays like Halo Reach because of the precision weapons. They got a little bloom in them, But the kill time and the flow of the game is very much like Halo 3. Because it's focused on map control, getting the things, getting the objectives, the rocket launcher, or the sniper, or the shield, or the grapple hook. The grapple hook's so fun. Super fun.
Oh my god, I want a blade.
You can grapple hook weapons. So like I love to. I forget the name of the map because we just started. The map where the grapple hook is at. There's the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
The gravity hammer. But a lot of times I like people go pretend to get it and then you grapple hook and it goes right through them. No. Even if they're holding X, it just goes right through them and you get it.
Oh man.
You can grapple hook into someone, so even if they're moving, your grapple hook will track them, and then you can
get over here.
People are happy. Like you get on, and like PC people, Xbox people, they're on their mics like, yeah, this is so fucking fun, blah blah. Supposedly today, maybe at the end of today, maybe tomorrow, there might be PvP. So they're saying. For sure. Later on today, we should have Spartan level bots. Oh, that's the other thing. The bots, like, you play enough games, you start to see the pattern. I mean, you can't expect that much from a bot, but you forget sometimes.
Yeah.
They strafe like a player. They prioritize power weapons. They throw amazing grenades.
Okay.
If they're shooting you, and you're low shield and you hide behind cover, they will come and finish you off. Like they sprint and they melee you. So
holy
they're not pushovers. Like they're not winning any games, but damn,
they want you to adapt.
Yeah.
Smart.
That's good.
I respect that from Halo actually.
Now I gotta get it on PC now because I don't have an Xbox.
You'll just hear me in PvP. Bring that ass here, boy. I'm just like get the elbow going.
I'm so happy I got an Xbox with all the scalping stuff going on.
You have the Series X?
Yeah.
Nice. I think this is one of our first guests to actually have it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to hunt one down, but I have no luck.
So I was gonna say something, but I realized I didn't want to say it like that. I don't want to come off smug. But I have friends who do the scalping.
Power to the player. I respect that.
You need those graphic cards, the 3080s, 3090s? I know a guy who has like 40 of them in his garage.
I might need to hit you.
Yeah, but we talked about like we don't like scalpers.
Like $1,000 over retail. It's crazy, and they're not letting them go. They don't care.
The funny thing is, we used to talk about scalpers, but now we're just like, yo, if you can just hook us up, it's be alright.
This is just the market now.
Honestly, we're new times from what we said from a year ago to now.
Well, the secret that a lot of people don't know, and I'll say it on here, you can go and just rent a bot. Just rent a bot.
Don't tell me twice.
So you'll probably pay less than because the thing is like. It's easy for me to say because I have the friends,
Yeah.
But the truth is, if you go and try to rent a bot, there's gonna be a tax on the rent either way. So either way, you gotta pay. Yeah. My buddies like for the Xbox, they're like, yeah, we'll do it for free. It's fine. Now, if you want a graphics card, it's different. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that sounds more of a smuggle.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, I wanted to build a PC because I wanted to get into mining. And I know the folks who have these NVIDIA cards, but for me, Halo's always been on the Xbox.
Yeah.
With a controller, and it's always an experience. You buy the new Xbox and it comes with the new Halo, and it's just like, I like
it's an experience. Like I remember playing Halo 3 when they finally said that it's gonna be on PC and you can play it on PC, and I was like, awesome. So got it day one, played it on PC, keyboard and mouse. it felt so
Weird.
I need to learn how to play
I was
keyboard
just
mouse
like-
like a grown ass man.
Because they take off the auto aim, the auto assist, the aim assist, and those weapons, the whole game is made with auto assist. Like it's designed for that. But they've added a lot of quality of life adjustments. So you can mess with your field of view slider. You can change the position of the gun. You can center the crosshair. It makes it a lot more PC friendly.
Yeah, but like when I was
That's
like playing it, like
actually
my
pretty neat.
movement was just like this just does not feel right. 'Cause when I play other shooters and I'm moving with keyboard and mouse, it's like I'm feeling it. But Halo 3 Reach,
Nope.
no. So I was like, you know what, Xbox controller in,
Yep.
and it just felt normal. Like
You know what
that's exactly how it should.
I tried playing
feel like.
Warzone. I couldn't
You know
do
what
it.
people do? They build their crazy PC. They play Master Chief Collection, but on a controller.
Yeah,
Gotta have the drip with
Yeah.
a little bit of seasoning when it comes to that.
That's what. There's something. So before the Series X, I didn't even care about frames or nothing. I started to care about frames with Mortal Kombat 11
Yes.
because I didn't know how important they were. So I was like, okay, so I need a BenQ that runs 60 hertz so I can do 60 frames per second. So when I learned what the Xbox Series X was with the 120 frames, like, oh, that's cool. I don't want a PC, I want that.
yeah,
It's cheaper. Especially now with the graphics card.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Scalping.
It is just it's tough. Like the 3080, which was the one that I want, it's like
That's like the perfect one.
yeah,
Because even for mining, the 3090 is almost not worth it.
yeah,
Even at
Really?
retail.
yeah. I was like, I want the 3080. I'm gonna buy it because now that I got my PS5, that was gonna be my next purchase. But bro, them prices, I'm not paying double for what it's worth. No, I'm not even paying an extra $200 to $300. No, if anything, I'm just like, I'll just wait. I'll wait. If anything, I got my PS5. That'll hold me over.
Yeah. You know, even though I know people who do this and I get it's a business, but like I'll say, fuck scalpers. It's such a shitty way to make money. If I could make money that way, I'd do it, but I don't, so I'm not condoning it right now.
Yeah. You remember the one topic we got where the guy just scalped and then he got robbed in his own place for flexing his scalping?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The PS5.
with the PS5,
Yes.
he had a whole wall. Oh my
Oh
god,
yeah. He was flexing and then he got robbed.
Never forget.
God, they doxed him.
Shout out to the Florida man. Literally doxed him. That's all.
I was on Twitter. I remember that.
They doxed him, they would have boxed him. No cap.
Yeah.
Oof. You truly hate to see that.
Do we really?
Oh yeah. All right. So moving on to our next topic. What are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11 overall? Now that the game is completely finished, it's done. We're not getting a Combat Pack 3, y'all. As much as I would want one, we're not getting one. But the game's done. It's time to move on. NetherRealm Studios is like, all right, it's time to move on to another game. What are your overall thoughts on it?
I think. So, look, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 9. It was fun. You know, the broken stuff was fun.
Yes.
But Mortal Kombat 11 was the best made game. Best made Mortal Kombat 11. There's no.
You know, I agree.
Even with the Jackie stuff,
Yeah.
the people are just being lazy.
Yeah.
You can lap it.
Yeah.
Is it annoying and gimmicky and almost inconsistent? Yeah.
Yes.
But like, then use Jackie.
Yeah.
The story campaign was super fun. I like that they undid some of the stuff that maybe people didn't like from MKX, and then the Aftermath campaign was also super fun.
Yeah. And that was the first time you've ever seen something like that for a fighting game.
Right?
You
Like
see
an
another
expansion
story.
Yeah.
where I almost spoiled it.
I mean, you could. It's if you haven't played Aftermath, you're way too late.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead. And spoil it.
it's what a spoiler alert.
We even
Yeah.
we even talked about the movie too.
Well, what I was gonna say is, Aftermath was fun in the sense that like the bad guy wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, or it appears so. So it was fun to see all like the main cast characters that just get like what is it, plot armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to see Liu Kang with his broken legs.
Yes.
God,
So fun.
that was such a mind trip going on.
The online, amazing. Do I wish we had a Wi-Fi filter? Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, this is not for me, the guy who is a tryhard at Flynn's Arcade. No, this is for the average day consumer who wants a good game, Mortal Kombat, and if they are on Wi-Fi, they're gonna match them up with someone on an Ethernet cable because the connection is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Mortal Kombat sold so many games, but people forget it's to these casual people who they go to the campaign, they don't really lab anything, they just play and mash buttons, and that's okay, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But that's what the game's catered to.
Yeah.
Is there things made for competition? Yeah, sure. That's the other thing. It's a very good game, as in like how to put this? Like if you wanted to take it as a serious esport, you could.
Yeah.
It's consistent enough that if you're good, and someone is not as good as you, it'll show.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they try to do gimmicky stuff, if you're good at that game, you're gonna win. That's it.
True.
What are your thoughts on like overall the whole variation stuff? Because it began in MKX and then
It built
MK11 completely changes it up where now just like, hey, now you have like customized ones. Like you can customize it. You can pick and choose which moves that you want to put into your character and whatnot. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like the whole variation system. Do you think they should just completely do away with it, or?
I don't mind it. I wish that they were a little more balanced because so what happens is that sure, do the characters have variations? Yeah, but if you go to a tournament, you see the same variations for the same characters.
Yep.
Unless someone is very good and they found like I think it's called the set play.
Yeah.
I would explain it as like, hey, I'm gonna put you in this position, and you got 3 options, and my whole game revolves around making you guess what's coming.
Yeah, that sounds actually.
And it's
like
not
good
really a
definition
big
to call
sup,
it.
but it's like, if you guess wrong, I could flawless block after. So like that's kind of how I play. I put you in this position where I'm gonna throw a string at you. Am I gonna flawless block after? You don't know. If you grab, am I gonna duck? I might just let go of block, just a quick second. I'm sorry, I ran off on a tangent. I forgot. What was the question?
You're fine. You're talking about the variations.
We're just talking about all
The
the
variations.
variations.
I wish they were more balanced so you'd see people use the other variations, but I don't mind the system that much. If anything, I was a variation loyalist. I used Cabal Clean Cut from the beginning of the game all the way to the end. Why? Just because. I'm just that type of person. I'll stick to one character and one variation that I like.
Nice.
I used the other one with the low saw and the straight projectile because it was good to fight against Gearus. Or like if I don't
Gearus.
if I don't feel like dealing with your stuff, I'll use that. But for the most part, I don't really counterpick. I think it would be more fun if all the characters had their own all the moves.
Yeah, like how in MK9 was.
Just give everyone all the moves and let the game be broken.
Yeah. Like, why not?
They literally.
Yeah.
I think Rain was the only character that had like a tournament ban briefly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he had some moves that were banned in tournaments that they said they weren't allowed, or Combat League at least. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Oh no, all the characters. Like in terms of some moves, there's a bunch of moves that are banned from tournament play.
That are
So
strictly
So
competitive.
people were like, so why are they there?
Yeah.
Where's the gabugu? Like
Yeah.
But then custom variations became a whole thing with Combat League, and then that's where everything changed.
Yeah.
But they're still banned from there too.
Oh yeah, that's
Like it's like the NetherRealm people. They thought, the casual player will appreciate it. They don't know.
No.
The people who do appreciate it can't use it.
It's
Yeah.
pointless.
That's why everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
Now, with variations, how do you feel about Combat League? The setting of it, at least.
It's good in the sense that it gets people used to that tournament setting of playing first to 2.
Okay.
In the first week of Mortal Kombat, it wasn't first 2, it was first to 3.
Yeah.
And it should have stayed like that.
Yeah.
Is it long and drawn out, and can someone make a comeback if you're slacking? Yeah.
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 But that is better, in my opinion, but that's because I go to tournaments and I do all this stuff. Perhaps the casual player is like, well, why do I got to win 3 times, you know?
Why I have to work as hard?
Yeah, why do I have to work as hard? It's a video game. So.
Or they end up quitting after after the first 2 they end up quitting. Or the first round, they'll just back out and be like, yeah. Like, you completely just destroy them that first round. Flawless, out.
Because you know what? I enjoyed that system because I'm that type of player that I'll throw away a game.
Yeah.
Like, I'll throw away a game to figure out what's going on. I've done it in a tournament where, like, I just lose really badly, but the whole time I'm thinking, what's the pattern here? What is he doing? Or what am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
A lot of times, you're the pattern. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing that's so predictable to you. So all I need is that one game to come back and win the.
Is this our first lesson for CEO?
Say again?
This is our first lesson for CEO. We got to find a pattern.
Yeah.
Finding him is all patterns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Arigato gozaimasu, Rick Sensei.
there's in the topics. I wanted to include this one in the Mortal Kombat 11 because you mostly asked me about the game, but I want to talk a little bit about the tournament stuff.
Okay.
You were asking about CEO.
Yeah.
In coming in to the tournament scene, it's one of those things where like you meet your hero, and then you find out it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
You find out he's a shitty person.
Yeah.
I feel so bad when somebody meets me.
I had been fantasizing, or romanticizing the thought of going to tournaments because since I was, like a teenager, I'd watch the MK9 tournaments and the MKX tournaments. I was too lazy or not invested enough to go. When my daughter was born, I'm 28. I'm like,
Aww.
time's running out.
Yeah.
I gotta, if I'm gonna do this, one day I'm watching a MKX tournament and I'm like, I could have fucked that guy up. My wife was like, well, why don't you go? I said, all right, you're right.
That is love right there.
So I got into the scene. I'll never forget my first tournament. It was at the Hard Rock. It was held by, I don't know who, but Katana Prime kind of put his face on there so people would go. And there's a lot of known players who went to that tournament. There's a lot of people that went to that tournament.
Okay.
I didn't do very well, but I lost to like a pro.
Right.
I forget his name.
But you didn't go 0-2.
No.
Okay.
No. No. But it was so fun, and I remember being so nervous, and that's when I found out that I needed a monitor because I'd been playing on TV.
Yeah.
So that same week, ordered BenQ, ordered PS4. I ordered an Xbox to PS4 converter because I only play on Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
My second tournament, which I did really well, was at 10th Level Tavern.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I live.
That is
30
where,
minutes
before Flynn's, that's where all the locals went.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing is, I had my little hiccup at the Hard Rock. I didn't want to, I wanted to make myself known.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of labbing. I did a lot of research on how this stuff works. So what did I do? I came in. I think Butter Punch was one of my first guys.
Butter.
Fatal first round. What?
What?
That was super disrespectful to them. They're like, what's your problem, bro? And then the second one, I fatal you again. Or I'd mercy you. And I did this to like these guys who were just, they're just trying to participate. And I'm like, nope, I gotta
Rip.
everyone.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He's good friends with Grim TG and good friends with Butter Punch. I forget, he uses Kung Lao. When I did it to him, fatal first round, he's like, nope. He ended the game. He restarted.
Damn.
This is some tea I was not expecting.
Yeah, and so I did that to everybody. Except there is a player who's blind.
Huh?
And I didn't know he was blind. But there's a player who's blind, goes 10th level tavern, he plays all the games. And he wears these big headphones, and he's learned he can do combos, and he can play. Yeah. I didn't do it to him, but
Good.
I didn't realize he was blind, because he just he's not walking around with a stick.
Yeah.
He's walking around normally. when he talks, he almost knows where to position his head.
That's actually pretty cool.
And he's gone to all those tournaments at 10th level that I've been at. I got 3rd place in that one. I almost got 2nd place, and I lost. I got sent to losers by Grim, the guy who won the first tournament here.
I remember Grim.
Yeah. He's like, I'm like Guy, and he's like my Kakashi, because like I call him my rival, but I don't think the feeling is mutual. You know,
my eternal rival.
That brings me to my next topic. You were asking for some tips about like competitive play.
Yes.
I would say never play friendlies.
I'm too antisocial to play friendlies.
Warm up home, like that. like when you're really here to like play, people are looking. That's just a way for people to figure you out.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go to the opposite of my mains now.
In those first 2 rounds, those are first 2 rounds to do things that you haven't done, that they haven't seen before. So both rounds, you gotta be unpredictable. You can't do the same thing twice. If they're a competent player, they're gonna read through that.
Yeah.
Don't feel sorry for no one. Don't give anyone any tips. Why do I say these things? Because when you're getting competitive, like for real, and you're getting invested, it sounds kind of lame, but you have to protect your feelings.
Yeah.
Because if you're emotionally compromised, even if you don't look it, you know, you got your poker face on, it's gonna come out in the game.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me before.
I've seen it so many times here at Flynn's. Regardless of whatever fighting game that happens, you see that you see the player just getting, starting to get emotional, they're getting frustrated, whatnot, and they lose the game. I've seen it so many times.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it too with you.
I'm just like, bro, you cannot, don't lose your composure, because the minute you lose your composure, you're gonna throw away the entire game.
The other thing is I would say is like, if you're gonna beat your opponent, beat him. For example, a mistake that I've made is like, and if you look at the streams, you'll see it on there. There'll be rounds where I'm like obliterating this guy. I'll never forget, there was a grand finals and the guy was ready to throw the game, and I said, "Whoa, go to player select, relax, take a breather." He's okay. I'm like, don't throw away the game. Try to figure this out. I say don't do this, because they're not gonna do it to you.
Yeah.
When you lose,
no mercy.
they're gonna celebrate your loss, and that's kind of like the reality I got to when I lost. When I felt like I shouldn't, I let some of the smack talk get in my head, and the smack talk wasn't even coming from my opponent. It's coming from other people, the crowd, because they were getting tired of seeing me win all the time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like,
and
I would hear it like.
And the thing is, like, I didn't know that was gonna affect me the way it did, but it did. And then like, I'm here playing this game, but I'm here thinking now, I shouldn't have been nice before. I should have just been a monster,
Yeah.
So, competitive gameplay is a lot more than just like knowing the frames.
Yeah.
That's just like, that's the base. Like,
Yeah.
like perfecting your character, knowing the frame data, and knowing your lab. That's where you start. What comes after is tournament nerves, tournament etiquette, and the community. Why did I say that? Because I didn't really get along in the community at all. I had a lot of problems with the community, a lot of problems with FGC communities in general. If you're going competitive, it sounds kind of anti-social. Don't go like thinking you're gonna make friends. Like, go to win. If you're gonna do this, go for what you're going for.
I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, like worry about everything after. Worry about everything after you've won.
True. Yeah. I'm just trying to find a hot gamer wife after I either get my ass kicked or win. So Rock, you're my wingman.
Yeah. So just some. I'm almost venting too. Because I've never had a medium to explain some of that too. Because some of my friends don't understand any of that.
I mean, you're in the right spot, and we can both understand you easily.
Yeah. Because when we've had Mortal Kombat tournaments here in the past or whatnot, and
oh my god,
it'd be hella fun. And then there'll be times where
I don't know if FGC Gabe is still in the chat.
There'll be times where it's just like, Like I'm just there, all right, I'm gonna just have fun or whatnot. I'm gonna, do my cheese and stuff with, with Shao Kahn. Nothing too worried about or whatnot. And then I go up against someone, and then it's like, okay, this is getting serious. Like I'm just, chilling like this.
Dude, we go against each other every time.
Serious when it's like, okay, this is the last round, and I'm screwing up. You're just sitting up like, all right, I really gotta play.
Rick's literally like we go to 2 tournaments in a row here, and we're both against each other.
Yeah,
I don't even take it serious enough. I get so
because I'm seeing the bracket, and I usually put myself way at the bottom, and then I'll put like Waluigi somewhere a little bit above me, and then when it's time to start, we're literally the first set. And I'm just like,
the odds of us is either like a 1 in 13 or a 1 in 20 or a
like
1 in
Waluigi will tell you that he hates fighting against my Shao Kahn because he knows I'm gonna cheese the fuck out of him.
Then you make me go serious.
Because he'll use Kano, and he knows that I know how to play against his Kano. So
then I switch.
Then he switches to
either
Collector. Yeah,
Collector or Jade.
No, Collector. He can beat me with Collector because
I know that look.
It's hard for me to read Collector's move patterns. Jade, I'm expecting spam.
These are all hard fights for Cabal. Cabal, like for Collector, people don't know, but Jade is a low tier character, but she gives hell.
Yes.
To Cabal, hell.
Especially with projectile spam, forget it. And even with dashing, it's just block. You can pick.
The thing is, you're at that range where even though that overhead is so slow,
that still does damage.
Mortal Kombat's weird. You have to press up to block up, where other fighting games you just let go of down and it blocks up automatically.
Yeah, you have to keep down to block.
For Mortal Kombat, you have to press up, and that's like weird. So even though the overheads are slow, you can still get hit by them.
It really is.
But you're right in the sense of like you're here to have like a good time, and then it gets to a point where we're not having a good time no more.
Yeah, I'm literally getting thrashed, and it was just like
when I first came into the MKFGC scene down here in South Florida, when I would beat someone, I would be happy because I was like, well, I didn't think I was that good, and I end up beating some of the good people. As my understanding, some of the locals that have been here way before me. But people won't like that. People will remember. And then when you're trying to just have fun, they're gonna be there to embarrass you. They're not gonna be there to have fun. You're gonna be like, damn, I can never relax.
Oh, I got
every game. Is like a game for props or something.
Oh yeah, I got smoked badly. That's
especially when it gets down to like semifinals and then the finals. Like your stress level is just going up high.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a person that don't even make it that high. Like when I made it to, I think I got in, either 5th or 6th place here at Flames for one of the Mortal Kombat tournaments. I was like,
yeah, I think I got.
I like, you know what? Fuck it. I made top 8. I'll take that.
I don't know if I was like 5th as well because I went against Latino Technique, and then I lost to the last guy who was also a part of the.
Sounds familiar. Latino Technique.
Yeah, never Latino, like the really big buff dude with a ponytail, I think, or long hair. If you ever seen American Dad, he reminds me of Stelio Contos. Cool guy.
That's kind of why. I mean, I imagine other people playing me how I must have been annoying because the thing is, in those final games. What I learned was to laugh. Instead of getting nervous, laugh. And the thing is that
bothered people.
The thing is, for me, like,
he reminds me of this dude, but like that's the best description I can give him instead of saying a buff Latino.
Look at
that. Not even as an insult, but dead serious, spot on. Latino Technique, I love you.
That wasn't something I did consciously, but that helped me deal with the tournament nerves because, like, this is funny to me. I've diffused the situation for me. I'm no longer nervous. This is just funny to me. So like now I'm gonna do a string and then neutral crouch on you, and like when you miss, that shit's hilarious to me. And then in that tournament, I start just laughing, and I'm not laughing at them, but laughing for me was my way of dealing with tournament nerves. And the thing is, like you would get calm, and I would end up doing things because they're funny. So, for example, like, something that I thought was funny was you jump normal, you do like a little string, and then you just neutral crouch.
Like what?
And people are like, they freeze up. you know, or
Because they don't know what to expect.
you poke when you're not supposed to poke, and they're like, you gotta respect my frames. Like, nope, poke, poke.
Have you ever just roughly neutral jumped like for no reason?
Yeah.
I do that all the time as Kano. Because I can just neutral crumb, air roll. Forget it.
I forget what it's called, but my favorite thing, you'll see a lot when I play, is that I'll move in and I move back out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am very familiar with it. Like, he'll walk up and then he'll walk back. Like, I'm like, yo, this man is just fucking with
And then
me.
you don't know if you don't know if I'm gonna go back in or I'm gonna jump. Or the thing is, if I go in and I go back out and you jump, I just keep walking back. And Cabal has these normals that'll either grab you out
Yep.
the air. So we could go on this all day.
Oh, yeah.
But these mind games are so funny to me.
Yeah, like, yo, Waluigi, I don't. If you've been here when he was here,
I don't
like,
think I have. That's why I don't recognize you, and I'm
there
so
are
sorry.
matches where I've seen him fuck with Butter Punch.
What?
Yeah, like literally, like he's just fucking with him, just walking in, walking back out, and then you're just waiting. Either, all right, are you gonna jump? Or are you gonna go advance forward? Are you gonna dash? So that
No,
way
I'm
I
just
can
gonna
punish
casually
it.
walk
Like,
back.
Some of my favorite mind games is doing the same thing over and over again.
Menacingly.
And they think, oh, he's not gonna do it again. Yeah, I am. So Cabal has this string where like it's safe, right? It's like punch, and then overhead kick. But
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's not an overhead. It's just a normal string. Well, I think it is overhead. You have
Yeah.
to block up. Yeah.
Punch. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason that gets people nervous is because the variation I use has a low. So scoop.
Oh, you're talking about the.
Any
okay.
mo-
I know what you're talking
But I
about.
won't do it. I'll do hit overhead, and they get hit by the overhead. They're like, okay, now he's gonna do low. No, hit overhead, and they get hit by the overhead. And I'll do this 4 times. And like you'll be waiting for that low, and it will never come.
Note to self: fucking with people works. I'm just gonna throw people multiple times.
I like doing that, but the thing in Mortal Kombat's a little risky because of the uppercut. That'll change a whole game.
I didn't say which throw I was doing.
yeah, because when I see him do the 2 hits, and either he's gonna go with the overhead or he's gonna go with the low.
Yep. No one knows.
Almost 90% of the time, he catches him with the low.
Yep.
Catches him with the low, and it's just like, got him.
I play
got him.
dirty. I really play dirty as Kano. It's
I
not my proudest thing.
like conditioning people. I like playing mind games. I like set play. Like I'll put you in situations I'm used to, but you're not, and I already have 3 options planned out that I'm like, I'll just make the decision on the fly. Like you don't know, and I don't know either. Like I don't know the mix up. It's
Yeah.
you know, but it's fun. It's fun, and that's why Mortal Kombat 11 is so great because the thing is, the mix isn't so much overhead low. It's strike grab or like what am I gonna do? Like you have time to react.
I just wish they had better servers. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I could
That's
ask
fair.
for.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, we could definitely go on more about Mortal Kombat.
Oh wait, you remember that stupid joke? Did you see the Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah.
I remember saying this really dumb joke. I don't know if you remember this, but I'm like, what if the bars for enhancements are Arcana?
Arcana. What's Arcana?
That little energy source from bullshit that Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
I'm like, I realize I hit a good point. Think about it.
Well, before we move on to our next topic, I do want to say for the next Mortal Kombat, please bring back 3-meter bars instead of 2. That's all I ask.
And they don't need to be recharging.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I will judge. Like the thing is, because it creates a meta where it's like I have a reason to do a string on block because it builds me meter, and like that infinite meter thing kind of was like, oh, it's not that good.
Yeah. Like, I like the offensive and defensive meter where,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm about to get up, I can either roll forward or roll back. I like perfect block. I like the perfect block. And, of course, you can also counter as well. I like that. The wake-ups, kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But you also abuse it as well.
Some of them are hard to gauge how like you know they're coming and you're trying to punish it, but you like misjudge how close you are. You get hit by it anyway.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
I mean, I think the worst like wake up is Shivas, honestly, with that bullshit throw.
Oh.
At least we all agree we can hate Shiva.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also get rid of the whole rolling out of the combo. Like if you're being juggled and you're rolling out of combo, bring back the combo breaker.
That's what I agree.
Bring that back because
me and my Utah friends all agree with that.
Because there are times where I roll out of a combo and I still get grabbed. Or
Yep.
But then I do it to other people or whatnot. I'm like, it's bullshit, but whatever.
The chat has been going. I didn't pay attention. There's actually some people who were talking about the MK versus DC, the blind guy, and the friendlies. Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so
I'm still laughing at Covin's response.
Sorry, but thank you for letting me talk about that tournament stuff. It's
You're fine.
It's one of those things I've been wanting to get off my chest.
You're fine. At least we learned something. We learned something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So then I learned to get serious until like after I get my ass kicked.
So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to CEO, like for whatever game, I would almost say, like, bring these expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are usually low as hell, but I'm ready.
They're lower now. They should be.
So no hot gamer wife?
No.
Hot gamer wife.
Now, if that happens, I expect you to help. No, actually, no, that's that's higher expectations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin your fun here a little bit. Some of we're still going on MK, but some of the drama that I didn't like was the drama that had nothing to do with the game. So,
oh God!
Hot hot gamer wife. Be careful. Like, I'm overgeneralizing, and this is not everybody,
But some people.
but these gamer girls, cause a lot of drama. Where if because you're bringing you're in the same environment as someone else is in, and now you're making like a personal relationship, so that can cause friction because she might have friends, or you might have friends, or she might have done stuff before you. So getting a girlfriend in the same environment where you have fun,
Oh God!
might not be fun because it might ruin your fun.
So note to self: in case I actually do get married, get a prenup.
Don't get FGC girlfriend.
Get a prenup.
Get
just in case.
a first-person shooter girlfriend.
Okay, I'm thinking of prenups already, so don't you worry. Because I want all my money.
RPG girlfriend.
Hey.
I learned from Silverback to play like Eisen when it comes to life.
Yeah.
Play chess.
Yep. All right, next topic. What would be your ideal perfect game? And of course, I'm asking the entire table. So we'll start off with our guest. Your ideal perfect game.
So, I know we've talked a lot about Halo already, but Halo is not a perfect franchise. But during Halo 3, it was. What is it? Why do I say this? It's not that Halo 3 was the perfect game, but I'm using Halo 3 to answer this question. Because Halo 3 had a good campaign, it had hype, it had an amazing multiplayer with all these new game modes that they innovated on. So everyone was playing it. But besides that, your boys over at Bungie, when they were still making cool logos like this, they were
pretty cool.
really involved with the community. So that made it fun because, they had if you're a matchmaker, you saw someone with the Bungie logo, you knew it was them, or the flaming head thing.
Yeah.
A good game should have that. Good campaign, good multiplayer that everyone can have fun in. So Halo 3 was not super competitive. They didn't have an MOG playlist until like the second half of Halo 3's life. Forge was
Forge was amazing.
Forge was very friendly for casuals.
I remember playing it.
It was so fun to just go in there and figure out how things work. Custom games. So many people never even went to matchmaking. They just played custom games with their friends. Social. So in the social playlist, there's no sweat. If you go into Halo MCC right now and you look up Social Slayer, there's almost always a pack of 2 or a pack of 4s running games. And it's like, why? On Social Slayer? It's not fun. You go to Halo 5 to social playlist and it's a sweat fest. Everyone's like trying super hard. But back in Halo 3, the Social Slayer playlist was like no rank, no true skill, no behind the scenes skill thing, controlling who's on whose team. Because look, I'm super good at Halo, but when I go into social in the Master Chief Collection, I'm that good player that balances out my team, so I get the bad players, and the same thing on the other team. That's how true skill works. If you do really well, they give you bad players. If you do really bad, they give you good players to kind of balance out things.
Right.
So the perfect game should have a space for casual players that doesn't have true skill, and they can just go in and go on autopilot. Campaign multiplayer was great. So I'm more talking about the qualities that a perfect game should have. Theater, so good. Theater, you good for montage clips, for machinima.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I forgot about them existing
Yeah.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Halo 3 had that expansion with ODST where it was like more just single player stuff. Firefight was, more game modes that a casual player can go in and just mess with. And that is the closest thing that I can describe to as a perfect game because it made everyone happy. It made the competitive side happy, the casual side happy. The guys who just wanted to build maps or do videos or just play the campaign, it was fun for everybody.
Oh yeah. I agree. Everything. Like Halo 3 literally encompassed so much in that. Like it had everything, and when they did had DLC and it was just the map packs or whatnot, it was value. It was very valuable at the time, and even if you didn't want the map packs, that's still fine because guess what? You still had Forge, you still had your custom playlist. There was still so many other things that you could have done in the game. To whereas if you want the DLC, cool. If you don't want, cool.
Man, Halo 3 campaign, four player co-op.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Gears is one of those games that got kind of close to that, but it's like,
Yes.
did they have 4-player co-op in the beginning?
Oh, they did?
No, they only had 2, right?
Yeah. Two.
Oh, they had two.
They had 2.
Until 4.
Yeah,
4 and 5.
or 3, I think.
No, they had it. I think in 3 because I
Yeah.
know in Gears of War 3 you could do 4-player co-op.
When it came to 5, you had 3 players.
You see, Gears got close because they had the Horde mode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They had an amazing single player they could play multiple times.
I loved it.
That was the thing too, achievements. So if you played Halo through easy, you got an achievement for just doing that.
Yeah.
If you played through legendary, you got all the other ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
So-
remember this.
If you play the game on normal just to see the story, and then your buddy gets it, and like, oh, let's do a legendary playthrough, like, that is why you go back to play them. And then like both of you got the achievements, but now the other 2 of your buddies don't. Oh, but you haven't done 4-player co-op. It's yet another reason to go back.
Legendary is a nightmare. Dear God.
Yeah.
I never had friends that did that with me.
I feel like that stuff is missing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like,
That's always missing.
The co-op.
it was so fun, even in Halo 3, because the party system came out with Halo 3. In Halo 2, going to socials, talk that shit. You could hear the other teammate when you were close to them. When you did that proximity chat, that was fun. Now you go into most matchmaking games, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
And all the single player games, all these like weird indie games that are like platformers.
Yeah.
Like, why so many platformers? Like, what happened? What happened to games like Shadowrun? You know, where like, hey, or I'm trying to think of others, but I can't. But the 360 era had so many good games.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
a little bit ahead of its time, but not too far in. When it came to certain specifics.
For example, the 360 had Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
That multiplayer was so fun.
Yeah.
They had tanks.
Yeah.
And like, it was hard to play. It was hard to see people. The campaign was super fun, but then we go back to the achievements. Now in the Master Chief Collection, they have an achievement to kill like 5,000 jackals. Why? That's not fun.
Why not?
I can't grind.
Yeah, you don't want to make the game a grind fest unless it's bragging, unless you're doing it for like bragging rights. Like when it comes to like some of the skins that you could get in Halo 3, you had to do something to get it.
Like the finding out the skull at the end of the game. You have to jump through the hoops to get the I would have been your daddy skull. When you first
I didn't do none of the skull quests.
No?
No.
But did you get the Hayabusa stuff?
Yes.
Then you must have. You must have done it, or you must have gotten people who helped you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was like playing online and I'm seeing everyone with these cool looking helmets and whatnot, I'm like, and then one of them had the high boosted sword. I was like, yo, I want to get
Yeah.
I know.
Yo,
I never got. I never.
Where you
The
got
first
that?
time seeing that, I was like, "What is that? A sword?"
I truly never got it.
No.
No. But you know what's a weird game I remember? Fun fact. I'm going through my achievement list right now. I don't know if you remember this one. Tenchu Z.
Yes, I never played it though.
Yeah, I'm looking. I realize how much of a weird kid I actually am. A weird adult now, but still. With all the games I've played through my achievements, it just shows. Like my first game ever on the Xbox 360 was Tekken 6.
My first game on the Xbox 360, because it came as a bundle, was Need for Speed, Most Wanted.
I just got that actually. I got the original Xbox edition, so I can test it out the compatibility.
Nice.
Yeah, mine was Halo 3. Like,
You have an original Xbox too?
No.
Oh. I thought you meant you were trying to do the
Oh, no.
backwards compatible stuff.
Like I want to see if it works on the Xbox One, but I don't know if it does. Does it?
No.
God damn it! I wasted like $8. Bucks. I was in Ocala. Long story.
You know what's cool? I actually ran into an original Xbox that fully works with Halo 1 and 2.
What?
Original Xbox. All good condition.
you own it or
Yeah, I own it now.
Hey, don't sell it. Don't sell it, man. That is a relic.
And it was their typical story of like, oh yeah, it's been in the closet in a bag for like the last 10 years. You want it?
Because I know if you're gonna sell it, you're gonna sell it for a pretty high price.
Well, now, yeah. Because even the original Xbox, all beat up, no cables, they're like $200 because of the nostalgia, you know? The part of the reason I got is because Marty O'Donnell, the original music composer for the first four games, all the games, up until Halo 4, he said that the original Halo had visuals that were neutered when Microsoft kept making ports. So, for example, the port that you have in the Master Chief Collection, that's the Gearbox PC port. So some of the visuals are not the same. You need an original Xbox with an original Halo disc to get like the true vanilla experience.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Holy smokes! I didn't know that either.
That's why I was like, that's why I got it. I was like, what? I bought this game like 5 times now.
So, what is your ideal perfect game?
Rick, you ever heard of For Honor by any chance?
Yes, I've heard of it.
You ever played it?
No.
God damn it! Because I know me and
For Honor.
actually no, I'm gonna change my idea of a
Wasn't
game.
that like an assassin game?
No, it was a weird fighting game, as in like 3D. You choose your factions, your knights, samurai, Vikings, and Wu Lin. I originally said Wuhan by mistake, and I almost thought that was a COVID reference.
There's a game. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm gonna
You're fine.
forget.
You're
There's a
fine.
game on the PlayStation 2 that I'll never forget. They still make it, but I'd never gotten back to it. Where you're like you're either you're not a samurai guy, bro. You're all like these weird Japanese fighters, and you'll go through lands fighting hordes of people, NPCs.
That sounds like Neo.
and like you're encouraged to do like these long combos and like
Does that sound like Neo to you, Silverback?
Somewhat, but I'm thinking more of
Or Onimusha?
Ninja Gaiden.
no. It's more open than that.
Oh, okay.
Not so much ninja.
Onimusha? No. Wow, making me think now. Actually,
Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, perhaps.
possibly. You know what? I'm just gonna change it. I want a newer Tenchu. At least within the Meiji era. At least you bring back the stealth in a game, a third person where you have multiplayer. Tenchu Z was one of those first games I enjoyed learning stealth before Assassin's Creed. And that speaks volume.
I only did that in Assassin's Creed, and even then it was a little much.
Yeah.
I actually got 100% achievement in
Bastard.
Assassin's Creed, the first one.
I looked at it, I was 50%. But then when it came to Assassin's Creed 2, I was 99%. And same thing with Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 2 was hard. They always had that one achievement that like was finicky or whatever, never happens. It was hard.
Yeah, I want another ninja game where you're actually stealth. Actually use more stealth, have multiplayer, get some friends to help you beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
That'd be like more of a dope concept, using your surroundings, using sounds.
I think that's what's missing from games, having people to play with you. Like we've never been in a time where you can meet people or get people to play with you, but you don't. Like no one is playing with each other. People will start a party chat, invite the one close friends, play the same game, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was choosing Tenchu Z, because like you have to communicate or either figure out how you're going to take out the targets and or the surroundings.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can find a disc again. I know I gave it to somebody.
I would say for me, my ideal perfect game would have to be definitely in the action adventure RPG genre,
Ooh.
but it has to be co-op, and you can do offline LAN co-op as well.
Even better.
Because that's a thing. I mean, I wish that could be a thing because
Halo 3 had that.
yeah, literally
You could do system play, campaign co-op, 4 people.
Yeah, and DLC, like, I would say yes for DLC, but at the same time no, because I want it to be a point where there's just so much content in the game that there's just literally hours and hours and hours of just replayability. Like the game has to have like a very high replayability rate. Customization's got to be really on point, and yeah, and just you and your buddies just taking on extremely difficult challenges, bosses and whatnot. Like comparing it to, I'm gonna compare it to, let's just say, if you were to take Dark Souls 3,
Oh dear God. I know where this is
Monster
going.
Hunter World,
Oh dear God.
and Dark Souls 3, Monster Hunter World,
Demon
and-
Souls.
No, not Demon Souls.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, just those 2 games. And then no. And giving it some Devil May Cry. Some hack and slash or whatnot, if you choose to. Put all those 3 together to make one badass game. That would be, to me, my ideal perfect game of just that genre. Fighters, the online has to be good. Rollback netcode.
Nickelodeon
Yes.
All Stars.
Rollback netcode. That has to be a thing.
Oh my God, I can't forget about that.
I would like for a huge roster of characters, but the only problem with that is balancing issues. So I would say a good number of characters, but throughout the time, the game does have like at least maybe 3, 4, 5 years of its lifespan. So you want at least a good number of characters. I would cap it off at maybe, I would say 40 to 50, just, capping it off there. Because I know Tekken 7 has like a huge roster of characters, and people usually don't want to get into games like Tekken 7 because there's too many characters.
That's kind of what keeps me out. So, because
There's too many characters.
I want to use
learn.
King, right?
Mhm.
But then I look at the move list, and it's so long, and I'm like, how many scenarios? And then I'm like, before the game starts, I'm like, no, that's okay. I don't
Just
want it.
drop kick, boom. Land
Yeah.
for it.
Like, I wanted to have a good roster of characters, but not
A huge one.
a huge one, because then you have balancing issues, and then a casual person coming into the game is going to be like, well, I don't have enough time to learn all these characters and whatnot. So they usually will go for a game that has like a very small roster, which is why Guilty Gear Strive is doing so well, because it's not a huge roster of characters.
There's like
they
what?
just released one new character, and each of the characters you get, when you're like selecting them, you can tell, it'll literally tell you what type they are. Are they a balance type? Are they a technical type? Are they a rush down type? The character that I made, Nagori Yuki, he's a one-shot type, so he's very strong. And the newest character that they released out, which is Gold Lewis Dickinson, he's a power character, so he does
Dick.
beefy damage. You have your
Really?
speed characters. Yeah.
I haven't seen his gameplay. That's why I was asking.
You know, I commend people who play these anime fighters, because, like, look, I'll play Halo and MK, and I can see what's going on. But, like, I don't know how these people can see anything, those anime fighters. Because the designs and the artwork, and it's so everywhere, like, I don't know what I'm
It
looking
just
at.
moves so fast and so quick. Yeah, I get you because I look at them too and it's just like, man, they're just going so fast. But then when I finally, sit down and play or whatnot, it's like you have to find a character that fits your style.
Yeah.
Like your pace. Like, are you a person that likes to rush in a lot? Or are you a person that likes to be more defensive? Like you wait for them to come to you? Or are you just a mixture of both? Like, all right, let me see what you got to do. I'm going to go offensive. I'm going to go defensive to see what I can do. Like, what are my options? So I would say, like, Guilty Gear Strive, good character. Like, starting off, I would say, I think they have about maybe 12 characters. 12 characters just starting off. And that's good. And then as time goes on, maybe it'll be up to maybe, who knows, 20 or whatnot. But you want it at least, like coming out the gate, you want at least a good small roster of characters so that way people can spend the time learning each of them, the mix-ups, how they play, and of course, creating their own play style.
Oh
so that way
God.
they can be comfortable playing against other people, whether it's in a casual environment or competitive environment.
Yeah.
But online has to be
I looked at his trailer. He's
top-notch.
brutal.
Yeah, like Gold Lewis is in the right hands very, very dangerous because he's a heavy power character.
Oh my God.
Like he has one move that has 8 inputs.
What?
Yeah, and it's with that big coffin. And I've seen some combos where people can just literally just in a combo like just like in one touch, your health bar just going all the way down to the point you're dead.
Yeah, I saw his old Gatling gun technique too. I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This man's a menace to society.
Like even when MK11 came out, and yes, we're going back to Mortal Kombat 11. I think it had like 20 starting off.
Very small roster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very small roster, and now you have even more characters.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But yeah, you want the like my ideal perfect fighter would have to be start off small, and then as time goes on, it grows big because that way the ones who are playing it casually, they already know what to expect. And then if there are going to be newcomers, they can play with the original cast, or they can just play with the brand new character that's just being released. Like I know when Joker got released,
Oh God.
that's when I started seeing a huge wave of people coming into Mortal Kombat 11 started to play Joker, and it was
Fanboys.
fucking annoying.
And then
Fanboys.
what's that other character?
Which one?
The one with the chains.
Spawn?
Spawn. Yeah.
I had a buddy who paid $60 just for the spawn.
Wow. I mean, I knew people who really were obsessed with Spawn and
Yeah.
didn't like his gameplay.
I gotta tell you, this Joker conversation reminds me of. So one of my favorite players to watch was Ninja Killer.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He's one of those does not make excuses. He plays it like on the stream. You'll see him talk shit, but like when you see him play for real, you see that like he's gotten that situation, went to the live and figured something out. So for example, Joker has this normal where he sticks out his stick all
Yeah.
the way like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's really hard to do anything about it, but it's high. So he goes like this, and then he like all the way over. So you either just sit there and block it, or you just sit there and block it, and you just sit there and block it because he's gonna do a little present thing, and then like
Yeah,
he can hit you,
I've seen
and
him
you
compete.
cannot hit him.
I think he went against Sonic Fox at one point.
Something that I saw Ninja Killer do that blew my mind is like when Joker does that normal, he neutral crouches. He's what's it called? Yeah, neutral crouch.
Yeah.
And then when the overhead comes, he flawless blocks the overhead.
Ooh.
And like it's an answer. And I love that type of playing because it goes to show that there's no excuses. Like Jackie, Joker, what's the female god?
Cetrion.
Satrion.
Like
Annoying, but
are you gonna have fun playing? I know, but like there's answers. You can
Yeah.
figure it out. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, that would be my ideal perfect game. And all right, let's move on to our next topic is what game needs to come back in this generation?
Comeback.
Like think of an old game that you think that would deserve like a sequel or even maybe
Oh, I already know.
Go on.
I'm gonna let you have the floor on that one.
Psyops.
Psyops.
Psyops Mind Game.
Now, how the hell do you spell psyops?
PSI.
Wait, seriously?
Oh my fucking god! This game is not even backwards compatible on the Series X yet, as far as I can tell. And it was an amazing game.
The Mind Game
Back when we had the Game Informer magazines.
Yeah.
I had a PlayStation 2 and there was a demo for it. Dude, it's a game. It's a third-person shooter game, but the gimmick of the game is that you can do telekinesis, fire kinesis, mind control, and like a body shift.
Yeah, I'm looking at these screenshots.
Me
of the
too.
game.
So you can do almost stealth if you want, but you can also like run through the game and just fuck everyone up. They have a room. It's like a training room where it's like just you, some items, and some infinite respawning guys, and you have infinite health, and it's just you fucking up guys with your telekinesis, and it doesn't get old. The reason it hasn't made a comeback, as my understanding, is that Midway, aka NetherRealm from before, they went through a lawsuit where someone claimed that they had copied the story, and they won against Midway.
Wow.
So supposedly that story was not original, at least not entirely. And that might have contributed to it never coming back. But that game needs to make... If you look up a gameplay, the way they made the control schemes for telekinesis was so easy. It's not like these games now where it's like kind of hard.
Right.
Left trigger, like if you aim at a person, left trigger, and then one of the buttons telekinesis. He lifts them up, and then that's it. You can either throw, slam, choke, set on fire.
The options are limitless.
Oh, yeah.
The only other game that I've seen do telekinesis that well too is that alien game. What's it called? The alien that probes people. with the
Destroy
gun.
All Humans?
That's the only other game I would compare.
Destroy All Humans, okay.
Yeah. Psyops.
What game would I choose?
What about you, Waluigi?
I know nobody's played this game, but The Darkness.
Yeah, I played it.
I want them to make the sequel, goddamn it. It's been like almost, how many years? Probably about a good almost 10 years since they last made the second one.
What is it about?
So basically, the first one begins in New York City. You have your protagonist, Jackie Estacado. It's his 21st birthday. He gets into an accident. He then discovers he has something in him, which is called the darkness. It was passed down by him in another generation. So the darkness meaning he has a demon inside of him. So it shows out two serpents out of his shoulders, and you can manipulate them in any way. One side is like blades, and another one can actually roam around and eat people. It's like Venom, but with extra steps.
I think I've seen that game. Was it on the 360?
Yes, it was on 360.
Well, because 360 had a bunch of demos,
Yeah.
and I downloaded all of them, and I think I played that.
Yeah, I enjoy the concept of using darkness. Like, you just shoot the lights and the darkness becomes more powerful. You can eat hearts. It just shows the animation of you ripping out the heart and then eating it.
That reminds me of that game Bloodborne, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The one with the vampire lady.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun.
Wait, Blood Rain.
Blood Rain.
Ah.
My vampire waifu. That Negan Berg's called me out on. Fuck you, Hunter. No, I'm kidding.
All right, for me, a game I would love to see make a comeback in this generation is SOCOM. I was a huge SOCOM guy.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Back
I
in
was
the
a
day.
huge SOCOM guy in the PS2 era, and then of course in the PS3 era, with the exception of 4. But yeah, I would love to see that game make a comeback because it's one of PlayStation's exclusive IPs, and after SOCOM 4, which was, I think what killed that game was the hack when PlayStation Network got hacked. And that was during the time when SOCOM 4 was released. So, yeah, all the people that had SOCOM 4 couldn't play online until we were able to play online. And then one thing led to another. Zipper went bye-bye. And I was sad about that because I actually liked SOCOM. But I didn't like 4 because I felt like they went a more casual route, like trying to appeal to the Call of Duty crowd, which was back in the PS3 and of course Xbox 360 era, like so many other shooters, whether it's a first person or a third person, tried to go after the Call of Duty crowd because every game tried to have like their own version of Call of Duty, but for their game,
Yeah.
and it was just like
That never
no.
works out.
Yeah, it does.
It
It doesn't.
does
It's
not.
like you're better off sticking to what you already have and then just improving upon it. Like if you're gonna have people that's going, you're not gonna get the Call of Duty crowd pretty much because
Yeah, you really.
they
are,
played their game at a certain pace, at a certain level, and you need something that's a little bit more different that's going to attract new people into your series or genre or whatnot.
You know what that's like? That's like someone trying to make a 2K game.
Yeah.
That's like someone trying to make a game that competes with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, why are you doing this? You're not gonna steal that crowd ever.
Yeah.
Never in your life. So many people that are casual players don't know anything about video games, but will buy one of these PS5 and the new 2K because it's 2K,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they'll buy the new Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fanboy thing.
Yeah.
We also got my neighbor Alex, my home dog. He wants to have what game brought back to life was be Killer Instinct.
But it did come back.
It did.
I know they initially released in 2013. I guess he's talking about he wants a newer one, but I think it's sort of like the same equivalent to saying MKX.
Let me explain why we're in the position we are. So Halo was done after Halo Reach. It was donezo.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but there's an executive at 343. She's a woman, and she's the one who went to Microsoft and pitched to keep continuing Halo, right? And I said, okay, they organized the team and a budget, and they said, have at it, right? The same thing happened with Killer Instinct. So what happened? They said, hey, Xbox needs an exclusive fighter. And Xbox had just bought Rare.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I forgot about that.
That's where this came from. So they organized a team with a very small budget, super small. What ended up happening was that, they made, because the roster of characters that I started out with was super small,
Yeah.
and the game was free to play.
Yes, I remember this.
So they started off small, and what they did well, and they stuck to the original principles of the game, and it took off. It did well. If you look at the game, it's nothing special, but what they did it right. As time passed, they added more to the budget, and then the game kept getting better.
yeah,
They added Arbiter, and they added the Frog guy, and my point of all this is that it was one of those things that happened so well the first time. How do you one up that?
Yeah.
And how much budget do you choose?
I don't. Think
And the
you
thing is,
can.
when you make a game like that, you want legacy to be a part of it, and that team that made that game is working on other stuff. So
Yeah.
you're gonna need to outsource this to another studio, which Microsoft has enough to spare. But do you want to do that? What if you mess it up?
Yeah.
So Phil Spencer has said we haven't forgot about Killer Instinct, but it's one of those things that messing it up is a lot worse than not continuing it,
Yeah.
because they did such a good comeback. They need to preserve that and wait until they can make a second one that's better or can
Yeah.
innovate. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree with that as well.
Yeah.
They see Microsoft sees these games as investments. They're not just we'll make another, except for Halo. The thing with Halo is that they kept trying to make it in their own image, and that was
Yeah.
Halo 4. Halo
Yeah,
4.
that does not work out.
No, it does not.
No. All right. Now our last topic is gaming pet peeves. Do any of you guys have any gaming pet peeves? Because I have one.
I spat so many I lost
I went
track.
through some of those in my tournament talk, but I'll let you go first since I got some of those out of the way.
All right. My gaming pet peeve, and this is the ever so more recent of Guilty Gear Strive. I do not like the online infrastructure where you have a little sprite character
So
running
annoying.
around.
Like Dragon Ball.
I made mine a Florida man.
Like, you have a little sprite character running around, and then you go to a little station, and you just sit there and just wait for someone.
I hate that shit too.
And I'm just like, I hate this because, one, it takes too much time. Two, this is a waste of resources. If anything, please do it the way how Tekken and Mortal Kombat have it where you just sit in about maybe less than a minute, boom, you get a match. You get someone paired up with you. Rather than I gotta wait for some random to just randomly walk to my station and be like, hey, let's fight. No. That takes so much time.
Imagine the time and resources that goes into developing and designing all that stuff. He's just like,
can
we erase this, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little 8-bit programming that they set up.
But when you do get into a match, run's fine. I have no problem with that. Especially with rollback netcode. I ain't got no problem with that.
No complaints one bit.
Just get rid of that part. The initial part of waiting to play against someone online, especially if you're playing ranked. Like, please get rid of that. That's all I ask.
Yeah, from FGC Gabe, he just responded, the online sprite character is funny. Also a player who gets one win and leave. I hate that when it comes to Guilty Gear.
I hate that. They get that one win. I'm like, bro, run that shit back.
Like, I don't care I don't care if I lose again, but I want to run that shit back again. Like, give me another chance.
Which is why earlier when you said that when you guys were talking about Combat League and you like how it's like, first to 2 or they should just do it in first to 3. I like that because now you have to try to redeem yourself, and if you leave early, well, I'm gonna call you a bitch. Like, bro, you're a bitch.
You a bitch.
Don't leave. Run the setback.
Or sometimes you figure something out in the last round, like the string you've been getting hit with, that's plus on block, but you find out that the last hit is flawless blockable, and you can do it easily. You're like, oh fuck, oh now I know. Or they've been throwing something out that's not safe, and you finally poke and you see it's punishable. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I was going against a Giovanna. The same thing happened to me.
Giovanna.
From Guilty Gear.
Ah.
Usually I just found a way to poke and go as Ramlethal and just start pressuring and then using my ultimates.
Yeah, just like, that's just my one pet peeve with Guilty Gear Strive. Just get rid of that part. And as what FGC Gabe said in the chat, like, don't just take one win and leave. Just spread it back. Let's do it first to 2. As you guys said, we're talking about earlier with more Combat League, like either first to 2 or first to 3. I would say first to 2 because it's quicker, so that way you can just get it out the way and just stick with that. Like, I think people would be fine with that, and yeah, that would be my pet peeve. You all, Luigi.
Pet peeve. This is more not like an online thing, but a somewhat a general thing. Please stop making fucking tier list. Like, anyone that makes a tier list, I feel like is the most meaningless thing because everyone has their own play style.
Yeah.
We don't care what's A through F or Z tier.
Yeah.
Just play the goddamn game, honestly. Because especially what you told me about Smash, that was probably the funniest thing. Because I actually made King K. Rool as ironically. But literally, just play how you usually play. No one cares about tiers, especially Reddit. If you see the Reddit page of Mortal Kombat, there's like a whole subreddit of Mortal Kombat, but then there's like tier list. Jade is always the lowest, which I usually play as.
What about you?
Mine has to do with gaming, but it's more competitive stuff. But it is something I want to make super clear. If you're a content creator and you play games for fun, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if your shtick is that you're a competitive player, but you're not good, you're not good. Pros should not be like how to put this, like players that don't deserve exposure get exposure.
Yeah.
Yep. I could say that.
Like, for example, I can 3-0 this person. Do you think I'm gonna get any? What's that called when you take your stream and you put it on their channel?
A clip, highlight.
No. When you take all your viewers and you
Raids.
put it raid. Like, think I've ever gone a raid ever? But people have 3-0'd in tournaments multiple times. Yeah, they got.
That's awesome.
Sometimes genders have to do with it. Sometimes.
Yeah, when it's
because
online,
you're a certain
equal rights,
gender,
equal fights.
you, and like, I'm more generalizing, but what it boils down to is that, like, in a competitive setting, giving exposure to players who might not deserve it, where there are other players that do deserve it, they get nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Coven is spilling some tea going on.
The only list I care for is matchup charts. Yeah, for my own character. Also, if you're not good, tier list, matchup charts don't matter. I said what I said.
Real talk, for real.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
That is the realest
He's
thing
not
he
lying.
said. There's nothing sus this time. This is actually real talk.
Yes. Yeah, man. But all honesty, is like when it comes to fighters, like the whole tier list argument. Like I see it, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just look at it like this. Let me see my character.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout
Are
someone
they
out.
up or are they below?
Bro, I'm actually gonna shout someone out from the Guilty Gear. The guy who plays Anji, Sev. Everyone who I've spoken to says Anji is the lowest tier. He sucks. He's all this. This man has placed 6th, 7th in multiple tournaments. There's still a build-up. No matter if it's first or second, first or 8th, he's still placed as one of the worst characters. Quotation marks. Also, I mean Anji too. Mostly so I can call him OnlyFans.
This man here.
You signed up for this. Go then! So, did you read the comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, okay.
Don't worry, this is why I say things.
Sir, are you there?
Go, man.
I'm too sober for this.
Oh, man. Anyway, y'all. Well, I guess we can, put a ball on this thing and wrap it up. Rick, man, it has been an awesome privilege to have you here on our episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And we definitely learned a lot, especially on the more competitive side of things, especially with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the end of the year, we can have you at the Mortal Kombat tournament.
I might. I'd like when I heard you say it was the last one.
Do it. Do it.
I gotta do some homework.
Oh yeah.
Go look up how people play now, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like I do that before tournaments. Like I look up your YouTube, I look up your player profile, I look up for see what last.
I mean, you can just.
Or I'll follow your Twitch, and people think I'm supporting them. Like, no, bro, I'm looking for the patterns.
Yes.
I gotta put that petty on my list. I gotta find a bunch of people going to see. No, that's a lot of work. There's like what?
It is a lot of work, but
Yeah.
that's what.
There's like 200 people, 400 people that are competing in Mortal Kombat for CEO.
No, it's 256 if I remember correctly.
All right, so that's
Listen,
267.
you can boil
asses.
it down by following whatever community you're trying to get good in. Follow it on Twitter, and then you'll start to grasp the
Taking notes
the
right
head
now.
honchos, and then you'll grasp like the semi-pros, and you'll start to see like the people who are really good, but they're like content creators because they never go to tournaments because they don't want to like show that they might not be that good offline, but you know what? Like I win online tournaments, so.
Yeah, I'm good at winning online tournaments, but offline is like a completely different
Oh
story.
yeah, different level.
But I tell you, it's been super refreshing to get some stuff out there, because a lot of the stuff I talk about is like stuff that people might not talk about ever.
Yeah.
They just kind of like they might see it, they might like not my business, not my problem, who cares? Or it might happen to you, and you just might like whatever. No, it's good to talk about these things. I feel because the thing is, it improves the community.
Yeah.
Smash Twitter be killing me. These bitches funny. Jesus.
Well, Luigi, any last thoughts?
Rick's definitely an honor meeting you, my dude. Definitely got to hang out more. And definitely grateful for the advice.
I'll try to be more present. I kind of took a break after Mortal Kombat, deal with some personal stuff, and
Understood.
And then now that I saw Halo coming up, I'm like, I was super excited to come here because, the exposure and it's like I told them, I hadn't been this excited about something to do with video games
Aw.
since I started coming to Flynn's to compete.
Right.
Like you tell me there's another local, I'd be like, whatever. I've been there, done that. But like a podcast for video games,
Once I heard about you, I got
where I
excited.
get to talk shit,
Oh yeah.
It's fun.
Definitely.
Then I saw your page. When I saw Xbox, I'm like, I like you already.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. What's the word? Like, try to be more present. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Take your time. We'll be here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll be here.
I'm definitely showing up for the last tournament for MK11.
Oh yeah.
Kind of.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best to make it big.
Well, you might get far.
I'll
You still
cosplay.
use Shao Kahn?
Was that?
Still use Shao Kahn?
Yeah.
He's really good.
He is.
Yeah.
He's like
His offense.
like has so much trouble with him now. The kids after the buff, he just does whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you already know.
He's been suffering. Like day one, Shao Kahn doesn't matter. Every match I play against him, Shao Kahn, and I'm like, damn man, this poor soul. But now Shao Kahn,
It's like, I'm sorry, little one. Go Thanos. GC games like, screw Shao Kahn.
Yeah, because I beat him in the last tournament when Gabe was like talking smack, and
I was ready for
him, and then I sent him home.
Like 6 of us were all watching. No, I think 8 of us were watching outside. And I'm screaming too.
Yeah, because Gabe was just popping off and whatnot, and I'm just staying calm. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just play safe. And I ended up beating him. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing risky. I'm gonna just play safe, and I won.
before the sense, you said something and you deleted it, or well, you made it again about a Halo LAN party.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I plan on doing
Free
one.
for all. It doesn't matter.
I want to be taped up the goddamn ceiling.
It doesn't matter what Halo it is. Free for all. Like, I want all the smoke.
Like,
Yeah,
I will be.
when the other side's completely built out and whatnot, and we get our hands on a couple of more Xboxes, I plan to have one here.
Definitely.
I'll bring mine too.
Yeah, I'll tell people like, yo, if you're gonna bring yours, by all means.
Especially with the Master Chief Collection, like you can do a LAN party with any of those.
I got
Exactly.
mine. I got the Master Chief from Game Pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will be taped up. I want to be taped up to the ceiling. That old.
I've seen that picture.
Like, if someone could do it with my 235-pound ass, I will be so disappointed and so happy. It has to be chains. Come in.
This man here.
Has to be chains.
No.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, this has been episode 33 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. Of course, it's been disconnecting on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube a lot. So I have it completely recorded. So that's going to be uploaded on YouTube soon, whenever I get to it. But the audio portion of this podcast will be available on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor whenever I get done with that as well. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one next week with our next guest.
Peace.
Bye.